How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. In this video we're taking a look at my Fallen Angels deck profile. If you guys have followed me, you know that I've always loved the old Mastermon, and while the new Mastermon is really cool, this deck is pretty different. We are much more aggressive, as you will see, and it's just a different take on the sort of Gatomon strategy, because the start of the Gatomon is just such a powerful card. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Thanks for watching. So as always, we're going to start off with the Digitamas. We do run 5. We have 4 Upamon and then 1 Cupidmon. What I will say is that we are using a yellow base because I'm running a lot of yellow rookies, as you will see, and we have a lot of effects that let you summon those rookies for free. That said, if you want to try this with a purple base, with the Nyaromon, feel free to try that out, but I like the yellow rookies, so we're utilizing a yellow base. Upamon is good for card draw, as is Cupidmon. You can't guarantee you're above 5, but Cupidmon does come up, and we kind of just want to run 5x. So for the rookies, we have 4 Candlemon. Like in the regular Mastermon deck, Candlemon is an absolute beast. We're going to be summoning a bunch of purple Digimons, and Candlemon is going to help us maintain turn or get free memory. Then we have a bunch of rookies that we'd like to summon for free. We have 2 Bushiagumons. Bushiagumon is really good at closing the game out, obviously. We have 2 Pulsemon. Pulsemon is another way for us to gain memory and card draw, which is nice. We have 2 Patamon. Patamon helps us out when we are low and we need to recover. And then we have 1 Luisthepanda. Obviously the regular Luisthepanda does not count as a regular level 3, but it is a rookie and he can be summoned by all those free effects. So you see that we do have a low rookie count. That said though, we still play a good amount of rookies, and keep in mind that we're going to be getting a lot of this for free from the effects that we have. Now for the champions, we have the 4 Gatomon. Gatomon is kind of like the star of the deck, the reason why this whole thing works in the first place. We have 2 Meikumons, 2 Rush Gatomons, and then 1 Casamon and 1 Promo Gatomon. So the whole idea with this deck is that we're going to have a Gatomon on the board. You're going to get its on play to fetch 4 pieces, then you're going to Digivolve for cheap as you would in the new Mastermon. Except that instead of then hard dropping a level 5 and giving your opponent 6 memory, the idea is we're going to go into a level 6 right away and go into it very cheap using our Gato discount, and then go into powerful level 6s like Gatomon and the old Mastermon. The old Mastermon can summon Digimon when she's Digivolved, and Ofani summons when she's deleted. So ideally we can use our effects to recycle the Gato. Yes, you might be playing 1 for 5 when the game starts, but after that ideally you're getting the Gato for free, or at least off of a Hell Side or an effect or something like that. Meikumon is a dual color Digimon, which works with the Mikos that we have. She has the good inheritable and she can get out of security, which is nice. We have the Rush Gatomon because we are a very aggressive deck. As you see, we're all about getting the extra damage, and the Rush Gato is a great way to do so. And then we have, Casamon that can close the game out because we do run Yellow Tamers, and the Promo Gato, which is kind of nice with the old Mastermon for that quick recovery. Now for level 5s, we're running strictly Angelmons here. The idea is that we want to get the Angelmon X as consistent as possible. We have 3 of the new Angelmon, 2 of the old Angelmon, and then 3 Angelmon X. So a pretty solid amount of level 5s. 8 is pretty standard, I would say. So the new Angelmon does not have a 1 Digivolve effect, but the inheritable is very good because it gives us 2 checks with all of our level 6s. So the idea is that you have a Rush Gato, you go into this for 1, you go into your 6, and if you're still same turn, you can swing for 2 checks, while either trashing security or summoning our Digimon with Mastermon, which is pretty cool, right? The old Angelmon is nice because if you have a Gatomon and you Digivolve, you are going to get its effect to slow your opponent down, and then she gives you the inheritable that lets you play the rookies for free, and is a big way that we're going to get our Bushiagumons, Pulsemons, Luisthepanda for free, and so on. And then Angelmon X can go over these for 0 and recover 1. So ideally, you have a Gatomon, you go into an Angelmon for 1, Angelmon X for 0, recover 1, and if you go into an Ofani on top of that, you're going to recover 1 more, potentially pop a level 4 or lower. So you can start the game at 7 security, which just feels really unfair, and it's obviously very powerful, right? So for the 6s, we have 4 of the old Mastermon and 2 Ofanimon, although I will say that the correct ratio is probably 3 and 3. The only reason I'm not running a 3rd Ofanimon is because I refuse to run one that's not Altard. But I think a 3-3 split would be correct. So again, these are both very powerful level 6s. We can go into them very early on, very cheap, and try and be aggressive. Mastermon is fantastic closing the game out and giving you a bunch of extra damage. For example, you can go into Mastermon, your opponent trashes their security, she can then swing for 2 damage, and then her effect can potentially summon a Rush Gatomon. So you can get a bunch of damage out of nowhere. And while the Mastermon is expensive at 4, because of the things that we have, such as the Makos and the Gatomons or the Candlemons, we can oftentimes go into the Mastermon and still maintain our turn, right? So Mastermon is all about being super aggressive. Ophanimon is really good early on. Again, the recovery is nice, and then on deletion she can recycle the Gato, so you can go up the chain for relatively cheap once again. Both very good. I did consider running level 7s, you know, Sword Defeat. Ultimately I ended up cutting them, but if you want to fit in a level 7, you could really run anything that you wanted. So, you know, I definitely encourage you guys to try it out if you want to run a level 7. But these are our Fallen Angels, and they're pretty solid. For Tamers, we have 2 Karis and 4 Makos. So the Kari is really good because we can recover a bunch. For example, a very common play that I have is in the back we have an Angelomon. We promote at 3 memory, go into Angelomon X, tap the Kari to go to 4, and then we can then go into any for level 6s and still maintain turn. You know, Kari can also proc off of your Lucemons, Patamons, Ophanimons, and anything else, which is kind of nice. Mako helps us get our deck going. We don't have a lot of draw in this card because we're not a purple deck, so Mako helps us to get cards in the trash in the first place so we can recur them. And then obviously when you're playing the dual colored Digimon, yellow and purple specifically, obviously you get the memory. This is good on your turn, your opponent's turn. It's a way that we can go into Mastermon, and again, combo with like things like Candlemon and Mako, we can still maintain turn when we're summoning either the Gatomon for the cheap Digivolutions or the Rush Gato because we're pushing for damage. For options, we have a little bit of control here. We do have the standard for Flame Hellside. Flame Hellside is just too powerful of a card. It's just very, very nice. And being able to summon the Gatomon is fantastic. In security, you can summon Angelomon, stop your opponent from ending the game, which is very, very nice. And again, we have ways to lower the cost of this. We have 2 Chaos Integration. Honestly, I hate this card, but I feel like it's okay to run. Some people would run more, but it just bricks me so bad. In hand, it feels pretty bad. Sometimes you have to play it for raid. Most of the times, it's just going to be a dead card. If the insecurity is good, except that sometimes you're going to give your opponent some recovery, which is kind of bad because we're an aggressive deck, so it can actually hurt your insecurity sometimes. We have 2 Pancake Boosts because we need consistency, and you know, it's Digimon in 2022, you should be running these anyway. And then we have 1 Blinding Ray. Blinding Ray is good because it can give you memory to extend your plays and get unexpected lethal. You know, like again, going into Mastermon, keeping turn, giving you memory for Casamon, Bushiagumon, or Rush Gato, right? So you're at 3, you blind in, you're at 5, now you can hard drop the Rush followers. So that's the deck. It's a much more aggressive take on the Mastermon style. Again, utilizing the old Mastermon to trash your opponent's security, summon aggressive Digimon, and swing for 2 checks while getting there at relatively cheap because of the start of the Gatomon. It's a really cool deck. I definitely encourage you guys to try it out and just play it differently. Don't think of this as a new Mastermon. Just play it with a much more aggressive style. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. Thanks for watching.